Hello, hello, friends. Saturday, the 30th of November. Very happy to welcome you today to the 41st Lazarus Symposium. Can you believe it? I mean, I try to calculate how many thousands of hours of broadcasting that is over the last, what is it, three and a half years, something like that. Getting on for our fourth year, I think, 2021, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's going to be 4 years come the new year. And again, just to recap to those of you who've been gracious enough to have followed us from the outset, my rationale for beginning the Lazarus Symposium was to be able to begin a movement of souls, no matter how big or small. That was never the consideration. To begin to construct for ourselves active participation in revelation, rather than us being swept along into revelation, which all too often is how it's played out psycho-civilizationally. How do we galvanize and actualize ourselves as the living witness, as a fellowship? That was my instinct. I knew I was right. I am right. This is a community of souls of thousands and thousands of people now, the Lazarus initiative. And I'm proud, deeply proud of two things. One, having indeed engendered that fellowship, because it's self-existing, self-revealing, self-fulfilling now, and it's a groundswell, and it's helping to consolidate my own standing in this world as a pioneer, somebody who wishes to break the shackles and who wishes to participate in the new dreaming. Now I know that there's many thousands of people who are just as capable and as insane as I am. That's a beautiful thing. The other thing I'm proud of is the caliber, the sheer caliber of souls that we bring forward every single symposium on Lazarus. I can now safely say we have had many hundreds of the world's preeminent thinkers, scientists, engineers, geometers, astrophysicists, astrologists, social ecologists, people in every advanced discipline in the world. But the ones who are not afraid of stepping outside of the mainstream academia, and that's the point here, is that most brilliant souls in academia, scientists, engineers, philosophers, otherwise, they want to stick to the Cartesian, Einsteinian, relativistic bullshit. But the people we bring on Lazarus do not. They break way beyond that. And that's a quantum unfoldment of which we can all be very proud. Now, today, the first segment is flashing the kimono, as I said in my little briefs on social media a moment ago, on the project in Baca La Laguna in Mexico. So as many of you know, and you've been very patient, a couple of years ago, I announced that we were planning on this great noble undertaking here on the Mayan Riviera, midpoint between North and South America. And I explained at that time that I'd had a revelation when I connected with the water, which I did. And to those of you, again, who were watching the shows at that time, you remember me on that white horse. You remember I had a pretty serious accident and ended up bleeding in the Laguna and couldn't stem the bleeding for about 8 hours, I think it was. It was horrible. But what was the symbolism there? For me, it was very deep and very profound. I know it was fate saying to me, this is where you begin. This is where you break ground. This is where you do it. And I knew the water had some very extraordinary merit. I knew that from getting into it and coming out of it, but I didn't know to what extent. Now, the longer I stayed, then we had myself and a handful of folks witnessed an extraterrestrial intervention. In fact, my friend's right here with me. We were witnessing it together, and it was with a few others swimming in the Laguna one evening. That to me was also a testament to the fact that there is something else going on with this water. Then speaking to the Mayans, they explained that, oh yes, no, we've had this, it's gone on for generations, and keep an eye out for the phosphorescent luminous orbs flying through the waters at night sometimes and under the waterline. Well, fast forward to today, where we're about to explain to you where we're at with this amazing project and open it up now. We're welcoming people to come on board now and to begin to sign up and get seriously involved. But Dr. Alex Ling, as Lazarus will remember, is the foremost academic in the world now advancing the very esoteric science of consciousness and water, human consciousness, planetary consciousness, and the water molecule. Well, Dr. Ling came here for a 2-day excursion to get a sample, and that was nearly 2 months ago. He hasn't left. He won't leave. He's now setting up the New Earth Academy of Water with his group here. And we are focused very much around his vanguard research with using the water molecule of the Bacala Laguna as the seminal cornerstone of this new frontier that we're discovering of how, pay attention to me, I know I ramble, but this is the bit, how we now peg our consciousness to water, activate it as a living technology, because every molecule of water is connected to every other molecule of water on Earth. That's a fact. All the primary waters of the world, it's a fluid kind of underpinning, underscoring to this terra firma, to the world. So it connects everything, including the air, including space, filled with water, friends. The air filled with water, ionosphere, atmosphere. The bodies of our cells, 70, 80% water. The primary waters of the world. There is a reason why this is called the watery planet, planet Earth. And friends, there is also a reason why we've just literally in the last few days tipped into the age of Aquarius. For thousands of years, 2,000 years, we've been hurtling towards this event horizon. A week ago, we crossed that energetic threshold. Any advanced astrologist out there knows what I'm talking about, what occurred a few days ago. But now we've arrived. We are in the age of Aquarius. And this, friends, is all about the water bearer. This is the end of the Piscean age. This is where the Christed mantle becomes the collective. And we assume it, and we begin to dream wisely and manifest the world that we want to live in. We want to reaffirm our immortality, reaffirm the angelic template. This is the resurrection of the angelic template. The New Earth Bacala .com. There's the website there. Go to it. Scan this ghastly QR code here with your telephone to make it easy. Check out what we're doing. Get involved. Get on board. This is where we begin the utopian dream. I'm going to play for you a short introductory video, just giving you a kind of eagle's eye of the New Earth Sanctuary Bacala project, and then I will return momentarily. Stand by. Yay! Hope you enjoyed that. So, I want to introduce now some of the Mexican team, Mexicans and expatriates alike. Uh, as you know, the New Earth team is international and considerably big, but our New Earth Sanctuary Bacalar team is also international and big and local. But I want to introduce two very special people. I'm going to start here with Melissa Claire. Where are you? There you are. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, everyone. I am so happy. Thank you so much, Sasha. Watching that video makes my heart pound. I'm so happy to be here and to welcome you all to this incredible update on New Earth Sanctuary Bacalar. My name is Melissa Claire, and I've lived in these beautiful waters in this incredible state called Quintana Roo for over 27 years. If you guys are watching this live, please put in the comments. If you love Mexico, put Mexico in. Make sure you let everyone know if you want to come to Mexico. Also in the chat, you're going to be finding a link where you can go if you have any questions. And we've scheduled some incredible Q&A calls where you can join us and this incredible team to answer any calls that you have. And here with me, I have Ingeniero Jorge Ramirez. He is part of the construction company, and we've been on this about 1.5 years now, right?
Hello.
So it's so exciting to be here, and thank you so much, Sasha. So make sure you go into the chat. If you have any questions, please keep them on a pen and paper and schedule a Q&A. Also, there was so much excitement about this project. We also have some spaces available when you hit that link button, where you can schedule a discovery call if you'd like to really know more. And I can't wait to meet you. And so with that said, I will give it back to you, Sasha. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. And Jorge, great to see you there, brother. Always good to see that face. Thank you. Thanks, Melissa. I'm going to now just stay with us for the time being, Melissa. I'm going to bring on some of the crew. He says, sticking on his glasses. Just stand by here. I've got this new setup where I have a very large screen that I'm looking at up there, but I have to toggle with this hand and not watch what my hand's doing. So I might fluff from time to time. You'll have to forgive me. I want to introduce Tuan first. Let me bring you in, Tuan. Say hi, and where are you situated right now? And what is your function within the noble fraternity of New Earth Sanctuary in Bacalar?
Well, I'm privileged with the gift of working with these extraordinary guys, in Jorge being one, Melissa being another, and some guys I hope we'll manage to bring in to actually implement and build the seed project. And I am an artist, but this project has a lot of art in it, so that's my métier. And the engineers and architects and people that are working with us from Mexico are, well, world class. And I thought I'd give you a little bit of a glimpse of the magic that we are privileged to be a part of, or to touch by being there. And I'm the manager, I guess.
And who is this delightful soul here?
Jaime.
Hello, everybody. Very pleased to meet you all.
Jaime's our architect.
Jaime, where are you right now?
I am based in Puebla, and I'm very grateful for being here and being part of this incredible project and team. I'm a trained architect with specialized in sustainable design and sustainable architecture, and basically focused on research and studio work, focused on natural, low impact, eco-healthy building materials and sacred geometry into spaces, spiritually and conscious-wise focused.
Beautiful, thank you. So in short, Jaime is a professor of architecture and is involved himself in exploring very advanced bioarchitectural memes. We've seen some of his modeling, which is fantastic. I've not yet been up to his studio, although he's been working for quite a long while with the team. But we're planning to hook in with you in the new year at your facility, not too far from Mexico City, brother. But thanks for joining us today. Good to see you. Okay, who else is in the studio? Forgive me, friends. I'm going to bring in Paolo. Tuan, you might help me here with introductions.
So Paula is an extraordinary woman who, from the age of about 3, I think, had a download that her point on this planet was to save the Earth, and she's never really stopped since then. And she's now a professional in building and designing ecosystems, and she has tailor-made some systems for our homes to do with water and waste management and all sorts of extras that will be available there. But Paula, here, over to you. Just introduce yourself, please.
Nice to see you, Paula.
Hi, hello. First of all, this is a dream for me to work with people that really understand the concept about sustainability, about that things have to be integral, like not just one thing or the other, but like make this something integral. I all my research has been about sustainable houses, how to bring sustainable houses to protect the 4 elements that our ancestors used to like conserve. So my method is about 8 systems, and I wrote my method in my book also. Like I have a book, and I am specialized on that for sustainable systems. So I think houses, instead of polluting the earth, they have the opportunity to increase the natural resources, improve the natural resources, and bring a better ecosystem around the house.
Beautiful. Thank you, Paula. Very happy to see you here today. Thanks for joining us. Okay, next up.
Thank you.
Tuan, Eduardo. Tuan, make the introduction there, kindly.
Yeah. So Eduardo works closely. In fact, these 3 guys you've just met, they all work very closely together. And I have Paula to thank for bringing them into our team. Eduardo is involved in complex systems design and the infrastructure of the project, but he's very linked with Paula's principles. And yeah, go ahead. I mean, he's an engineer of repute. And Eduardo, please introduce yourself.
Hi, Eduardo. Good to meet you, brother. Nice to see you.
Hi, thank you. Well, I'm an electromechanical engineer, and I'm in charge of the design of the electromechanical infrastructure, such as the electrical power systems, the hydraulic systems, wastewater treatment, telecommunications, and its integration with the ecological system that Paula is designing.
Wonderful. Thank you, brother. Thanks for making it today. Good to see you.
Bye.
And introducing Pedro here, Tuan.
Hola, this is Pedro, who is our head engineer oversight and has been instrumental in helping us to get to grips with the whole process of pricing and building and preparing a big project like this in Mexico. Pedro, feel free to speak in Spanish, and in the recording we'll put some subtitles.
Hi, Pedro. Good to see you.
¿Qué tal? Mucho gusto. Un gusto saludarlos. Excelente día a todos. Mi nombre es Pedro Ledesma. Soy ingeniero arquitecto y mi especialidad es construir proyectos inteligentes, interesantes y complejos como los que presentan. Es un lujo y un gusto estar con ustedes participando en estos proyectos.
Melissa, you get to paraphrase.
Yes.
Actually, Pedro and Jorge, they work on the team together. And yeah, so he's an engineer and an architect, and he's very happy to be working on this project and building homes, just like Paola says, that help the environment so that we become one with the water, one with the land, so that we make homes that actually help us to live more healthy. And as like you were saying, Sasha, the water is such an incredibly important part for all of us. And so this is about the remembrance, and with this incredible construction team that I've been able to be witnessing by the side over a year and a half, with Tuan leading and your vision, Sasha, it's incredible. And I'm so excited to be here. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Melissa. Okay, and who is this insanely good-looking Mexican man? My brother Sergio, sitting in my kitchen, our kitchen in Bacalar. Hi, brother. Nice to see you.
How are you, everyone? Yeah, we are in Bacalar. I have 11 years in Bacalar and around 26 years in the area. original from Mexico City. Many things I have did. I study system engineer. I'm a professional photographer. I'm helping with the NES about different things, including tramits with the government and working in the land, different things. But it's a beautiful project, and we are here running every day.
So you have the fun bit. You get to drive the truck into the jungle, walk around the land, enjoy the nature, and also deal with the jungle of bureaucracy. Because I mean that's part of it, right? I mean there's also a jungle there that you have to deal with, right? How are you finding that in Mexico? How difficult is that process?
It's very difficult, but you have to be. The important thing, like in life, is patience, understanding how it works, and just be there, push, push, push in a good way, and at the end, you open the hole, and of course, the idea is to make everything by the law, and then we are not gonna have any problems. Then it's step by step.
Bravo. Exactly right. Thank you, Sergio. I know you don't like getting on the camera. I'm very grateful that we managed to drag you in front of a camera. One, I see that there's also Pitt is coming in or not. I'm not sure who else is
Yes.
able to drop in today, but they need to drop in now. So, Christy, presumably you're making frantic phone calls because I'm going to move on shortly. Who else are we expecting here today? I think Nico
Group 2.
and
We'll move to
what's
group
that?
2, Sash. We're going to move to group 2. So I'm going to ask everyone to come in. Yeah, Adam has already done that. So they should be coming in now, group 2. So we can say goodbye
We need to bye everyone here. Thanks, Paola. Thanks, Eduardo. Thanks, Pedro. Okay, yeah. So, friends, when you're doing a broadcast like this, we're only allowed a dozen people in the green room backstage. So we have to say goodbye to those friends. The others are dialing in now, so we'll say hello to them briefly. Christy, stick the slide up again, please. Whenever we can, people need that QR code as often as possible, and the web URL. Thank you. So, folks, make a note of that. newearthbacalar.com and or scan that QR code there. Who else is dropped in? Enrique. Okay, Enrique's here, but I'm not seeing him on camera. Oh, there he is. Tuan.
Great. Enrique, how are you? Well, Enrique is our legal POA. He's our man in Mexico. And we have some fabulous people outside of Mexico on Legal Brains, but Enrique is our connect into the matrix in Cancun, based in Cancun at the head office there. And he has been giving us some fantastic support and guidance in this pretty complex process of implementing physical on the land.
I can testify there. Yeah, I'm very happy to see you, Enrique. Again, I've spent more time with you in the last week, brother, than in the last year. And I count myself very lucky. But thanks for joining us today.
I'm just, I think he hasn't got sound, so we can't make him speak. So that's the problem.
All right. Well,
Great
thanks.
to see you guys.
Thanks for looking in, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okie dokie. Who else is in the green room? I wish my producer would talk to me. What's that?
I'm hoping Edgar. Because
Yeah.
he's
There we go. There we go. Just say it. Okay, Christy. No, thank you, darling. All right, to remove that, let me bring in Edgar. One intro.
So Edgar is the newest member of our team and definitely probably the most good looking. Well, maybe Sergio, I'm not sure. The jury is out. And in fact, Edgar is a friend of Sergio's, and he is going to be helping us with a lot of so many different things, clearing rubbish off the land, to administration, to tours, and also being part of our sales team. And Edgar, please, he's many other things. Edgar, please introduce yourself to the world, I guess.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Edgar Rodriguez. I'm very happy to be here with everyone with this amazing project. I am here helping all the project to do all the correct steps to make all the people here comfortable to be part of the community. I am an artist. I am a ballet dancer, a professional ballet dancer. And now I am doing all the process to be in Bacalar, introducing people to feel comfortable on this beautiful place. Everyone is welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Good to see you today. Thank you. And I'll see you back at the office tomorrow. I'll be driving back down from Tulum tomorrow. Thanks, Edgar.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Tony, this is Antonio, who many of you know, runs my life, my schedule, and is anchoring also as our, I guess, critical office manager. Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm very good. Thank you so much, Sasha. I'm very proud of being part of this project since the beginning, and wherever life takes us, I'm also here to assist all the community with the communications, the sales, the tours, whatever you may have, even the electrical bills, you know.
Thanks, Tony. All right, brother. See you soon. Isabel has just joined us. Okay. Listen, remove that slide. I can't access, I can't drag and drop with this slide there, Christy. Thank you.
Hey.
Hi, Isabel. Throwing you straight into the deep end there. How are you doing?
I'm good, yeah. My connection's a little bit off though.
Very good. Well, nice to meet you. Tuan, who's Isabel?
Isabel is actually a very good friend of my daughter and a great talented graduate who's out there in the world and unable to get a job. And when I heard, I said, come on, you're joining me, and there'll be a few others. And Isabel is key in supporting me and Melissa in the marketing and sales. She also has the added value of being Spanish, which is no small thing. So she's been key in sorting out databases and lots of very boring things, which are going to set her in good stead for the future. So Isabel, she wants to be a writer. She's an English literature graduate at a very high level. So
good to see you there, Isabel. Of course, I know who you are. I'm just asking sort of vicariously for the audience, but nice to see you. Thanks for joining us today. And Tuan, who is this here? Jumped in the green.
This actually, I said Edgar was the newest member, but in truth, Malika is the newest member. Yet again, another friend of Ruby's. Malika lives in Portugal, where I do, and she also speaks Spanish and fluent in Portuguese. I think the language is critical here. She's also going to be supporting the marketing and sales group with Edgar, Melissa, and me, and Sergio. And Malika, do you want to say a few words about yourself?
Hi, Malika. Nice to see you again.
Everyone, I'm really excited to start working on this project and being part of the sales, and hopefully one day be in Bacalar as well. I find it really exciting, and all the values that everyone's been sharing really align with me. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. Lovely to see you. Okay. Well, I think that's it. I haven't seen Jose Manuel in the room, Tuan.
Yeah, he has a problem. He's with the family, with his mum and various aunts and uncles and stuff. And he was going to try to see if he could on this journey.
Fine. We're running slightly over time now anyway. So what I'm going to do is just bid everyone here a fond farewell. Actually, someone's just dropped in. No, it's Sky and Annie. That's fine. All right, friends. Thank you all for joining us in the studio. Very grateful to show your beautiful faces. Thank you. Okie dokie. So let me take it away. Jump back in here. So friends, now I have to share a chronology, a timeline. I think I'm at the right place to do so. Just give me one moment. Melissa, before we bid adieu to you, is there anything else you wanted to add or underscore?
I just want to say that we are ready to answer any questions that you have. Obviously, you're meeting the team now, which is quite an extensive team, and I think it's important because there has been so much development on this project. And since not everyone can really see what's going on behind the scenes, we really have been making incredible progress. But if you have any questions, you can go to the QR or you can go to the link in the comments, and we've created some exclusive, more intimate live Q&A sessions where you can answer your questions. And once again, once you see even more what Alex has to say and more about this project, and you feel a call in your heart and you want to know more right now, we have spaces on the calendar where you can speak with one of us on the sales discovery team, and I would love to meet you there. So that's all I really want to say, Sasha, and thank you so much for letting me be part of this incredible project.
Beautiful. Thanks, Melissa. Okay, and so we'll see you later. And Tuan, I'll also jump you in the green room now, and we'll be seeing you a bit later. Tuan is going to give a breakdown of the seed development project that we are beginning now in Bacalar. So, Adam, quickly say a quick hello. Want to bring you in here.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
This is Adam, New Earth Development. Gets all the horrible flaming balls thrown at his head. And I've got Russell here in the studio with me. He's going to peer over my... There we go. There we go. Very good. So nice to see you. Adam, how are you doing on this fine day?
I am fantastic. Happy to be here with you and with everybody.
Very good. And how do you feel about the Bacalar project now that you're more attuned to it than any other human alive?
I can't wait to get into that water. I'm loving seeing the team coming together and all of the traction here.
I have to say, it is all about that. It is all about the water. Also want to just acknowledge here Marsha Willitson, who is the head of our law commission and the head of our trust structures, the New Earth Coalition. I'm not going to speak about that here, but we have friends essentially been setting up the whole New Earth as an ecclesiastically protected diocese. It's taken us most of this year. It's very complicated. It's expensive, but it's very relevant because the New Earth movement is now got to a point where there were so many moving parts. I know you sympathize with this, Adam, more than anyone, but there have been so many moving parts. And now that we're setting up, sovereign banks and chambers of commerce and getting into proper, heavyweight, bold brushstrokes on the world stage, so to speak, it's really paramount that we are fully protected in that sense. And so we're electing the same privileges that, the Vatican gives itself, and the Crown of England, and Basel, Switzerland, and Washington District of Columbia. There's a reason why these principalities establish themselves as dioceses. In any event, more of that later. We'll do a unique broadcast on that in the new year when we will we'll reveal the full scope, breadth, scale, and spectrum of the New Earth project as it stands now. Adam, thanks for joining us today. I'll pop you back in the green room there. Okay, friends, I'm going to take you on a little journey. Please bear with me. I'm going to share my screen. So I have to go present there, share screen, open the window. That's the PDF file that I want. So I'm going to open that there, share, boom. And that should do it. Yes. Good. So this is the path of evolution. Okay. New Earth Sanctuary Bacalar, ignore the very top there, but this, hang about. I have to move it like that. There we go. Can you see that there? You can see that New Earth Project. It was the first logo that we designed, and that was actually predicated on the hex, on the water molecule. Then the second logo you can see in the middle. The third one is the trifecta symbol. And how do I make this move? There we go. This is the path of evolution. So we began the New Earth Project in 2013, and in 2015, the New Earth University, which we actually initially instated as the New Earth Institute initially. And then it evolved into the New Earth University with Dr. Nancy Ash, the Reverend Dr. Nancy Ash. And of course, 25,500 registered students now. And so next year, expect to hear a great deal more from the New Earth University. The International Tribunal for Natural Justice, which was, there we go, that was 2015, set up that. 2017, the Bali New Earth Haven was built. 2018, the International Tribunal's Westminster Seatings on Human Trafficking and Child Sex Abuse. The World Health Sovereignty Summit and the New Earth Festival, the Gathering of the Kings of Southeast Asia, of Indonesia in 2019. And then the International Tribunal's Bali seatings, which were weaponization of the biosphere, looking at the weaponization of the biosphere. Del Bigtree and G. Edward Griffin and Jim Humble, Dr. Robert O. Young, Dane Widgington, Dr. Zach Bush, Jeffrey Smith. The leading lights in the world joined us for that inaugural World Health Sovereignty Summit and the tribunal, the inquiry into the weaponization of the biosphere. So that was us doing our bit 6 months before anyone had even heard of Wuhan or COVID, warning the world about the vaccine program, warning the world what was coming. Important stuff, very important stuff. Why do I keep doing that? There we go, boom. Then the Reclaim Your Lives initiative, which we launched during the lockdown. And then the Line in the Sand initiative. Thousands of you, hundreds of thousands of you are aware, millions in fact. Those two, Reclaim Your Lives initiative and the Line in the Sand initiative, were about us not complying, if you remember, with big government, with the satanic agenda that was unfolding in Technicolor in all of our lives, whilst our grandparents were dying behind glass in their old age homes, and we weren't allowed to touch them. We weren't allowed to visit them. We weren't allowed to put our arms around dying relatives. Really? Really? You think we've forgotten about that? I don't think so. I think hundreds of millions of souls have not forgotten that. Billions of souls have not forgotten that. Then in 2021, I produced Focus on Fauci, the mock trial of Anthony Fauci with Bobby Kennedy. And Bobby Kennedy, David Martin, Judy Mikovits, Rocco Galati in my studio, and we put Fauci on trial. Those of you who remember, of course, it was banned immediately. It's not the point. We did it. The Arise Freedom Tour 2021, after lockdown lifted, I went straight out there into the trenches in America in order to try to light a fire in the hearts of Middle America, who I personally regard as the most important demographic on earth, for reasons I'm not going to go into again, but because the common pulse of Middle America is the common pulse of humanity. Humanity is the common pulse of the galaxy, of all the galactic intelligences. So next up, after that, I did the Regenesis retreats in Mexico, decompressing from the Arise Guerrilla, the Arise Resurrection and Arise Freedom tours, and then launched the AGN network, the Arise Guerrilla News Network, to continue with that work, as you will recall. Then we did the World New Earth Sanctuary Back La Laguna. The idea was seeded then in 2022, 2 years ago. We seeded it. And then 2023, the World Health Sovereignty Summit, we launched again. And we launched the New Earth Pharmacy last year with the spike protein and the weaponized E. coli microbiological formulas, which you can find by going to www.thenewearthpharmacy.com. F for pharmacy, not PH. And then the New Earth Technologies was born as well this year, and we'll talk about that in a moment. 2024, New Earth Tennessee Golden Ticket began. We're about to close on land. Before Christmas, we intend to. It might spill over slightly, but I think it's going to take us, I think we might just close the loop before Christmas this year. And then the New Earth Sovereignty Academy, which we just launched as well, to those of you who've been paying attention. And the World Hereditary Council is launching next year in the first quarter, and the New Earth Africa Nation. We'll speak about that a little bit later. So that's essentially the piece I wanted to show you as the path of evolution. That was the Focus on Fauci event, which you can still find out there on the web. Lazarus Initiative, which I launched in 2021. And that's been ongoing now, as we said earlier, for 4 years. That was the Arise Resurrection Tour. Scott McKay there behind me, and I think Kathy O'Brien was in the green room behind us. The Regenesis Retreats, which have given birth to New Earth Regenesis. This is the spark that lights the flame, that fires up the hearth of the new earth everywhere in the world that we are seeding. The New Earth Regenesis is the spark that lights the flame, that ignites the hearth. And that's because we're focused on what matters, on reclamation of our DNA, mRNA. As I pledged in 2020 and 2021, when we all woke up to the fact that we were under a satanic thrall and that governments, the high street, mainstream media and academia and society at large had been fully weaponized against truth, against reason, against the common capacity to love and be loved. We took a U-turn civilizationally. And the governments would have us move into a death spiral, a vortex of some satanic Armageddonist fantasia. And we say differently. And the new earth, this movement of souls, of very brilliant souls, we are saying different. We are manifesting different. We are enacting different. We are embodying different. We do not seek permission from anyone other than ourselves as we stand directly beneath the gaze of the eternal Son, the one God. So this piece here, New Earth Regenesis, is important because I am proud and honored to have brought together the greatest healers that I'm aware of on the surface of the earth, embodied perfectly by the couple that I'm going to introduce you to. People who follow my works know Sky and Anahita already. They are my friends and partners. Very happy to have you guys with us today in the studio. Thanks for joining us.
Such a blessing to be here.
Yeah, well, just talking about this incredible journey, you guys and I met last year around about this time. Yeah. And I'd heard that you had brought back multiple people from death's door with stage 4 conditions and irretrievable galloping turbo cancers and what have you, that you have a unique protocol in your setup in North America. And albeit you have to be very cautious, obviously. One cannot cure anything, apparently, in this world. We're not allowed to cure things. We're not allowed to even use the word cure. It's the C word. But the point of fact is we're moving very rapidly, guys, into a very different landscape. As you know, we've now got Bobby Kennedy and we've got Donald Trump. Love or hate Trump. You can't hate Kennedy when he's declaring war on the FDA, the AMA, the CDC, the WHO, and Trump is taking down the globalist satanic agenda by best accounts. So I imagine this is a great time for healers like yourselves who live to heal humans from the worst conditions. How do you feel about the landscape as we tilt into the new Earth horizon in 2025?
You want to jump in? Go ahead, Sadie. Okay. Well, just as you said, Sasha, we're super excited about this time. I've been following a lot of prophecy keepers over the years, including Chief Phil Lane Jr. Talking about this time that we're coming into, or that we're in, this time of the Pachacuti, this new day that will not be followed by night. And so, this is a part of it. I don't know if you remember, there was someone came out with around the Looking Glass project, and he said that they tried to switch timelines with the Looking Glass, and they found that every timeline always ended up with everybody learning the truth, and there was nothing that they could do to change that. So we've always known that that's the timeline, and so we've been sticking to it. And we've been in the underground, I guess we call it, or we call it the sort of, we were working with the sacred plant medicines for many years, and then adopting some of these technologies, and we kind of stumbled into cancer, really. And we launched our jab rehab program in 2021, late 2021. We were, like you, shouting from the rooftops. We didn't have that level of reach, but we just got to town and we just went at it, and we learned as much as we could, and we started to offer these treatments that we now call the River of Light program, the protocol, and the Regenesis, we're calling Regenesis process. And it's powerful. We blend all of these different technologies and therapies with what we call awakening sessions, where we work with plant medicines in very specific therapies, relational somatic therapy. We use some shamanic de-armoring and breath work and these types of things to activate and mobilize trauma that's been locked in the system. And we can heal trauma that's at the epigenetic level even. And so there's a beautiful tie-in between these ancient traditional ways and these emerging incredible technologies that are coming. As we know, there's a bunch in the field that are just so exciting. The time we're in is just off the charts. What we're going to see.
It's very, very exciting, and I'm just feeling this decompression beginning. I know the Trump administration hasn't begun yet, and Kennedy isn't in office yet, but I think it's done. He's already said, "Pack your bags, keep your records. We're coming for you." All of those public administration officials, public health administration officials, all of those surgeons general, all of those leading pharmacologists, and the high street brands that were palpably acting against not just human interests, but against the human genome, against our species, are going to be facing a reckoning. That reckoning is upon us. It's going to kick off, and it's happening in Hollywood. It's happening in academia. It's happening pretty much all around the world. I'm very, very excited. Listen, guys, I want to play quickly. Russell's just given me my prompt here. I'm going to play a short video. Stand by.
An elder told me many years ago, he said, if you want to heal the people, bring them to the natural world. The natural world in itself will heal them. Anything else you add will be an extra dimension. The city is the place of the body. The natural world is the place of the spirit. So we can communicate with each other. We can listen a little bit better. We're not surrounded by all this materialistic world that has cut us off from the spirit.
There are places on this earth that call to us, places of power, beauty, and profound wisdom. Bacalar, the lagoon of 7 colors in the Mayan Riviera, is one of those places. Its pristine waters are among the most healing on the planet, holding within them an ancient intelligence that nourishes the body, mind, and spirit.
We were drawn here by the spirit of the water, beckoned by its purity and vibrational essence. Standing on its shores, we felt its invitation to cleanse, renew, and reconnect, not just for ourselves, but for all of humanity. These waters hold the memory of creation itself, their ancient stromatolites pulsing with the very essence of life.
Bacalar is the heart of our vision for New Earth Regenesis. Here, the timeless wisdom of the earth meets the most advanced healing therapies, forming a sanctuary where transformation becomes possible. In this sacred space, we fuse cutting-edge regenerative medicine with ancient practices to unlock the vast potential within each of us. Potential for optimal health, longevity, and profound vitality.
And this is just the beginning. Bacalar will serve as the blueprint for a global movement, a network of Regenesis sanctuaries that will redefine how we heal, how we live, and how we connect to the deeper truths of who we are. The spirit of the water has inspired us to merge ancient wisdom with the most advanced technologies, from cellular regeneration to sacred energy medicine and esoteric healing traditions, we address health at its very foundation. We don't just treat illness, we unlock the pathways to vitality, coherence, and expanded human potential.
At the core of our work is the Regenesis process, a groundbreaking system that purifies the rivers of light within the body, restores cellular coherence, and reawakens the body's innate intelligence. This process honors both the sacred and the scientific, empowering the human system to heal, regenerate, and thrive in ways we have long forgotten. But Regenesis is about more than just healing. It's about remembering who we are, what we are capable of, and the sacred relationship we share with the earth. Bacalar's waters remind us that we are deeply connected to something greater, something eternal. This is a movement. It's about creating a new earth where health, longevity, and spiritual evolution are not a privilege, but a birthright. Together, we are answering the call of the earth and the spirit of the water to step into a new paradigm of health.
Bacalar is the beginning of this journey, and we invite you to walk this path with us, to heal, transform, and awaken to humanity's extraordinary potential.
We drink from the river, we drink from the water, the sacred water.
Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you. I'm going to move on. What are our plans for 2025 with Regenesis? Are we able yet to speak about them? I kind of know what they are, but I haven't consulted with the greater team. Are we able to speak about them, our plans at this time?
Yeah, we can speak about them a little bit. Yeah, so nothing has been finalized. However, we are looking at launching our clinic in Bacalar in mid to late spring, and then launching our first inaugural retreat in Bacalar in the fall.
Great.
And so we're very excited to invite people to join us in Bacalar and with the sacred waters for a profound journey of healing. Yeah, and the retreats will be probably 2-3 weeks long, and it'll be an absolutely transformative experience. So we look forward to sharing more with everyone once we have some dates finalized. And
just to go into the retreats a bit, we're sort of designing a very immersive experience where I'll be bombing into some of the retreats and doing the kind of disclosure stuff and immersive conversations and facilitating the kind of, I guess, psycho-intellectual aspects of where we're at, how we got here. I'm talking about individually, every one of us, humanity, and speak about archaeocosmology, cosmogenesis, and then bring it up to the status quo, talk about how we arrived at this galactic underpass, and then how we move ourselves into the, oh dear, we've lost our friends. There we go. How we move ourselves into resurrection and regenesis. That's where the word comes from. It's connected to this resurrection of the angelic template, or of the immanent template behind all things, which is really describing the cornerstone or the bedrock of the ladder upon which we find ourselves on this ascension spiral, because that's what's happening. That's why Babylon is falling. That's why those who are attuned to this higher symphony of the human heart through fellowship are moving now into a kind of consensual symphony. And those who are still yapping and barking in the dark are becoming irrelevant, utterly irrelevant. The old Atlantean fallen light matrix and the Atlantean logic, all of that doesn't have traction any longer with where we're going. And that's because we're moving from the linear, the lateral, into the vertical, into this ascensionist paradigm. And I've always been okay about this kind of language, because this is the kind of language we better get used to. Eyes to the sky, friends. The UFO thing, the alien thing, the cosmogenesis thing. It's all part of Revelation. Even the Pentagon files that are being released are a testament to that fact. the Vatican Observatory, what's being revealed from the basement there of these arcane powers. The reason why the Five Eyes nations, emphasis Canada, Australia, New Zealand, England and America, are in a state of real constriction, is because this is the last wicked dance in that sense of the age, the Luciferian age. The fallen light of Atlantis will have no thrall over us moving forward. And it's got a great deal to do with the discoveries that you guys have made in understanding the whole system of the body. You don't just deal with the cells, you deal with the stars, sun, moon, stars, you deal with the soil biome, you deal with the inner earth, you deal with these different elemental, these different elements which comprise and composite the true human, the hyperdimensional being that we are. We're not just a little grunting hominid that squats to piss or shit. We do occasionally, but not I, obviously. But I mean, the rest of you mortals do. But that's your cue to laugh, right? But the point being, we're on the precipice of this tremendous upshift. The work you guys are doing, the work we're doing, the work that Regenesis is going to be ushering into the world is something which makes my heart sing, makes me very proud. Happy to know you, proud to know you, and looking forward to where the journey takes us next year. Thank you both.
Thank you, Sasha.
Thank you, Sasha.
It's an honor to be with you.
Always. Yeah.
Thank you for all that you do, brother.
Okay, friends, going to continue here. Let me just add this back in. There we go. How does that work there? Nope. If I do it like that, you can see it. There we go. Boom. So moving on from New Earth Regenesis, as if we could move on from that, because that's where we should pretty much stay. Let me just run you through the rest of this deck presentation. There's Sky and Anahita you've just met. New Earth Life Pod series. This is folding in to Regenesis. And yes, we're still developing this stuff. New Earth Pharmacy is already done. We did that this year, delivered that to you. Please check it out. TheNewEarthPharmacy.com. F for pharmacy. This is just touching on the New Earth Haven in Bali. Christy, could you remove that QR code, please, until the end of this presentation? That would help me. Thanks. Okay, great. And this is Bali New Earth Haven in Bali, for those of you who don't know Akasha. And this I set up really about 7 odd years ago. 2016 was 8 years ago, 2016, 2017. And we really built this out in order to prove that metric of the elevation of art, beauty, and consciousness. And in fact, hereditary leader Chief Phil Lane Jr. will be visiting, I just hiccuped, will be visiting us in Bali at the Haven in January. I'll be there to receive him and to host him. There's Samu Samu, the king, and the gathering of the kings and the high priests at the Bali New Earth Festival that we did. And we'll be doing the same in Mexico with the hereditary leaders and elders, unifying the cultures, unifying the traditional leadership, restoring their dignity, and learning from them, resurrecting their wisdom flame. This is what we did in Bali. That's Del Bigtree. That's at the first World Health Sovereignty Summit, which I hosted at my home in Bali. And that was 6 months before COVID broke out. We were warning about it. King of Kings, Samu Samu. Bishop of Jerusalem there on my right. Chief Sylvestre Nakale of Cote d'Ivoire over my shoulder. Over my left shoulder there, Jim Humble, the Reverend Jim Humble, the legend. His Highness King Samu Samu. And you can see Dr. Sandra Rose Michael. You can see Reverend Dr. Nancy Ash. You can see Del Bigtree. You can see G. Edward Griffin. You can see Laura Uplinger, Dr. Robert O. Young, and my eyesight fails me beyond that. And that was our Judicial Commission of Inquiry into weaponization of the biosphere, calling it out again 6 months before COVID. We've always been a generation ahead of the curve. 7 years normally, we are flying at the head of the curve. And I pride myself in that work of Humanitad, of the International Tribunal for Natural Justice, of the New Earth University, and of the New Earth Project. And as some of you know, we launched the Golden Ticket to establish a micronation in North America, in Tennessee. We've studied almost 30 tracts of land, and have narrowed our focus. We intend to close before Christmas. It looks as though we may do. Vertical integration of vertical greenhousing, zero-point technology, complete jurisdiction. Forgive me, I've overstepped. Let me just bring in quickly Dr. Manelli. I see you in the green room. Dr. Manelli is, some of you will remember, resigned from being an associate professor at San Francisco University last year, and has joined us as project director for the Golden Ticket, the New Earth Project in Tennessee. Dr. Manley, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Sasha. It's so exciting to be here. And I want to say that we are learning a lot from Bacalar project. So we are so happy that we don't need to reinvent the wheel, because Bacalar was the one you started, and now we are doing things in the Tennessee.
Indeed. And we've got a very large team there. They're not joining us today on this show. This show is essentially focused on, it's focused today on the New Earth Bacalar. But I did want to give a context of the connection between the New Earth Project beginning a number of years ago, then the Haven in Indonesia, the Sanctuary in Mexico, and then the micronation in Tennessee, and then the bigger project, the final project, which I'm not going to go into today other than for 30 seconds, which is our Africa prospect. But Dr. Manley, thanks for joining us today. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, friends, let me just quickly one time bring this back as I close this and move to that New Earth Africa. Big project, friends. Our delegation is on the ground right now in Africa, actually at the land. And I'm very excited by this, as you may imagine. It is in Central Africa. That's what I'm going to say. It's bordered by 8 countries. It's huge. You could fit Monaco, the country of Monaco, could fit into our New Earth Africa nation well over 20 times. I think it's 25 times. It's big. It's big. And it's beautiful. And it has islands, and it has all the big wildlife. And this is the biggest project I think anyone has ever conceived of in the world, in history that I'm aware of, in terms of setting up a jurisdiction now without going to war to steal territory. Okay? Because that's how it was done before. Conquest is going in and robbing, stealing the gold, raping and pillaging the communities, stealing the land, sticking up their totems and claiming the land. We're not doing that. This is a huge project, and it's happening. And we're even going into aerospace, vertical takeoff and lift, and big hemp manufacture, processing, very big. We've got the biggest partners in Africa already on the ground floor, and we've got thousands and thousands of hectares and hundreds, tens of thousands of tons of surplus fibers already on standby in South Angola. We are ready to roll. You can build everything, friends, out of hemp. Everything. Henry Ford built cars out of hemp and ran them on hemp ethanol. And then it was banned. It was outlawed in the US in 1937, as you can see there, due to the potential damaging effect it would have on many powerful industries, including the oil, plastic, and paper industries. Now you know why hemp was banned. Before that time, 1937, it was mandatory for every farmer in the US to farm. At least 200 acres, I think it was the minimum. We can build these, and these are the designs of our brilliant partners in Africa, aerospace partners and engineering, industrial designers, the best in the world. And I'll make those introductions in January. I'm not making those introductions here, but it's very exciting. And these are also some of our designs incorporating interdirigible and flotation, homes, boutique hotels, resorts, you name it. And this, again, we're talking about manufacturing out of hemp. We're talking about completely biodynamic. We're talking about 0-point energy systems and fuel water systems. So no end to where we take this. Now, I am going to be narrowing in to Professor Alex Ling, MD, PhD. That's the Sovereignty Academy on the right and the New Earth University on the left. But just to mention that in terms of New Earth bioremediation, Professor Ling, Reverend Dr. Nancy Ash, Dr. Manelli, Dr. Christina Rang, and Dr. Louisa Spiru are our core hub there. And I'm going to bring this now back to the water molecule in Bacalar Laguna in Mexico, why we're here. And whilst we have Dr. Alex Ling here with us, stand by. That's the water fuel system that we're introducing here. In the new year, you'll learn a great deal more about that. But yes, we can power up any combustion engine on water. That's the bottom line. You'll remember Dr. Alex Ling with Aquan, the incredible work that he's doing at the forefront of consciousness and water. And people are beginning to realize this is arguably the single most important innovation or revelation. And I'm going to bring Alex on now, and he can talk us through everything. Dr. Ling, happy to see you.
Hi, Alex. Very happy to be here.
Well, you can call me Alex. My name is Alex. Sasha is Alex.
Oh my God. Do you know, Sasha, I'm so sorry. Do you know, I had such a busy schedule over the last few days. It's just been absolutely crazy. I've been just rushing around trying to go from one interview to another and working with my team very, very closely together on all the new research which we have been doing and all the new blueprints we are discovering in the beautiful Laguna of Bacalar.
So now I left you there 3 days ago. I'm in Tulum, a few hours away down the Mayan Riviera. You're still there. And I think we may be heading back fairly shortly together to Europe. I'll be moving straight on to Africa to meet political and hereditary leadership out there. But yeah, you've been there for a long time now, Alex, and it must have been something quite otherworldly that kept you. What exactly do you think it was that kept you from leaving? You went in there for 2 or 3 days, and that was nearly getting on for 2 months ago. What happened?
Yes, so as you know, I've been traveling through Mexico quite a lot over the last 4 months and taking all sorts of different water samples from the most extraordinary waters in Mexico, going from the oceans to springs to cenotes. I mean, it was just an incredible experience connecting with the elders, connecting with all the indigenous groups, and to really work together to reconnect us with water once again. And that is something which is going to be absolutely crucial for our future. But when I came to Bacalar, I never been to Bacalar, I never seen the lagoon. So I introduced myself to the water, and while I was literally entering the water, I knew instantaneously it was completely different water experience for me. And it's something I cannot really describe, but it is on a spiritual level something which draws you into a very deep conscious level. And water really connects, this water of the Laguna really connects on a very, very in a very extraordinary way with their consciousness. And so while I was making this connection, I started to forget all about the science. I just entered the water as a vessel of water as well.
And we have really connected on this extraordinary frequency between us, where I recognized that this is the frequency of creation. And so every cell in my body was responding to it. It was like a love affair, love at first sight. So, and it captured me. So I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to enter more, know more about the consciousness of water. So we have done extraordinary communications with the water and have found not only that the Laguna is a huge portal, but also an information which actually goes hand in hand with all the indigenous people in Mexico, especially around Bacalar, that the Laguna is alive and it is, they consider it as to be a she. And the stromatolites, of course, is the heartbeat of the lagoon, also has the most incredible information which dates back 3.5 billion years. I mean, there is so much information. Also, it's a very special lagoon, which has the most beautiful cenotes anyway. So we are studying the cenote Azul at the moment. I have a beautiful dive team. They are so switched on. They know exactly what I'm researching, and they're completely connected to it. So we had some dives which go down 36 to 38 meters down into the cenote Azul, which has an all-around depth of about 110 meter. So, and that's just an estimation, because there are some arms which go really away from the cenote, and it connects again with the lagoon and other water bodies and other cenotes. So it's like a huge network. And we're only really scratching on the surface of really understanding what is down there and how we can literally tap into the blueprint of creation, where we understand not only our own position in the universe, but also understand how we can, through simply connect with water, be one again with it all. And that is so important for the future as well. So we are also working on the water plasma, and we have found that there is a huge amount of ions in the cenote around the, especially around the stromatolites. So, and that changes the molecular structure of the water quite substantially. So when we did a few tests, we found that not only it is very good for our health to bathe in those waters, because it's like healing water, but also it has actually the right composition, which connects us instantaneously again to the universe and to the bodies of the quasars, which are at all times spying out huge amounts of water plasma into the universe. Now we know also that the universe is not just antimatter and all the things which we are supposed to know about it, but also it contains water, and water in form of water plasma. There are some scientists now who are really believe, and me included, that there is more water plasma in the universe than antimatter. So
Okay.
there is a huge study on the way where we can learn so much more about it. But our waters, especially the ones in Bacalar, which I regard a portal, has that specific connection. These cenotes carry really all the knowledge about our history, the history of this planet. These are the creators of the first life forms. 3.5 billion years is a huge amount of record right there in the water.
Alex,
So,
what are we looking at? What are we looking at? You've got to get through these slides here just so people
Yeah.
understand what they're looking at.
Okay, this here was the most beautiful blueprint which we extracted from the water when we actually asked the water which function the water would have, not just as hydration for the plants and for the animals and all this, but also on a spiritual level. And we got this extraordinary blueprint back. And this blueprint we extracted from a water sample which we taken from the Laguna. And of course, we have asked for permission first. And then we fast froze it in a petri dish, and it's a small amount of water, just about 3 ml of water, and fast freezing it. And then we have a specific way of photography, which we are using, the same photography
photography which is being used in ice photography. So that way, with these lenses, you can highlight all the beautiful crystallization and the coloration in these ice particles. So it's absolutely beautiful. And we can see here, and when we showed this image, the first one from the Laguna, to the indigenous people, there's instantly also recognized the phoenix, which is on the bottom of the print and the blueprint and holding the portal. So that was the moment where we really got recognized in the indigenous community, and now we're working together because they know exactly how important this is. So they regard me as a waterman who has a communication to the water. And so we are really looking forward in bringing humanity back to connect with water again. So these also on the left side here, the volcano was one of the first blueprints we received from the water, which was not just only showing a pretty picture, but also actually going into a future event. And that was taken 2 days before just recently the Indonesian volcano was erupting. So that was quite something. And on the right side, again, we have a different part of the Laguna, which is also a beautiful coloration again, and it shows a really golden sunset, and it was taken at sunset. So that's reflected here in the lagoon, in the blueprint. So we have probably collected over 2,000 blueprints from different sources, but I can truly say that the Laguna of Bacalar is my absolute favorite. The water quality and it's the frequencies and everything which you can think that water should be, it is. So it's also very important for me to protect those waters, and this is what we're doing as well. That's why we are working together with the indigenous communities and with also a lot of other scientists. So we're bridging the old and the new, and that is the only way forward, how we can all work together.
Beautiful, Alex. This is so beautiful. I am definitely going to be bagging the rights to publish the coffee table book on these images, and I want the licensing rights for textiles. I mean, they're just so incredible.
You got it.
Beautiful, Alex. Thank you. And two things, friends. One, the Guardians of the Water campaign. Christy, if you could kindly pull up that slide, if there is a slide there, because I'm damned if I can see it without my glasses. But I want to draw your attention to the Guardians of the Water campaign. Please, friends, scan this here and go to it. Sign up if you can. This is a piece of history. Dr. Ling is building up a repository of the water signatures of the world, all around the world. We want millions of people to be signing up, sending in samples. If you sign up, you'll get a sample kit through the post. You will fill it up with your water from your lake, your pond, your shoreline, your municipal water supply, whatever it is, your water that's closest to you, and you send it back. Dr. Ling will also be giving instructionals and tutorials about how you can communicate to the water and affect a communication with the water. That's very much a part of what the Academy is going to be offering. But the Guardians of the Water is about you participating in this so we can get your signature and build up this repository from all around the world, not just exotic places like, Laguna Bacalar and Lake Titicaca and the Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. There are places around the world that are famous, near Niagara and so on. But actually, your water, wherever you are, some waters are super luminal, hyperdimensional, and they're in the middle of nowhere. You wouldn't even know it. It could be in the middle of Patagonia, and you've got to cross rivers are crossing underground, and that water molecule may well be a portal, a stargate, a portal, something that completely shifts reality. We're going to start building this up because Dr. Ling knows how to retrieve the message from water, and this will be open to kind of online. So you'll be seeing this repertoire build up with the campaign. But listen here, friends, this is where it gets exciting. And this is where it ties into the whole shtick of Lazarus, which is group dreaming. Group dreaming. And I'm just going to take it back to this, as you well recall, Dr. Masaru Emoto, who was able to effect change in the entire water supply of Tokyo, the municipal water supply of Tokyo, which was highly toxic. He got 500 people in Japan, one of the most densely populated countries on earth. Just 500 people. You could fit those into this room I'm broadcasting in. 500 people signed up. And what did they do? He got them to all simply think of love, hold the frequency of love whilst they thought about the municipal water supply in Tokyo. And 500 people around the country instantly, completely shifted, manifestly shifted the water supply into life-giving, life-affirming water, conscious water. And that was forensically proven out by Dr. Masaru Emoto. You get a bunch of good humans together and their group dreaming becomes the manifest outcome. That is how you resurrect the kingdom of heaven on earth. That is how we manifest utopian visions and our highest ideals. That's how we resurrect ourselves from the dead. So the relationship between human consciousness, the human heart, and water is everything. And that is the new technology that is going to be unleashed. This is the age of Aquarius. And that's why this comes with the revelation of the age of Aquarius. Dr. Ling and us here in our noble little fraternity of Lazarus are at the very tip of the spear of that aspect of revelation. Dr. Ling, thank you for all that you do. Honored to know you and to work with you. Can't wait to launch the New Earth Aquan Water Academy next year as we move into the new year. Until then, we're going to be promoting the Guardians of the Water campaign and inviting as many of you out there to sign up to that as possible. Last word to you, Alex, before I hand over to my sister while she wraps up the seed project for us. And then I'm going to move on to our segment. I can see our noble guests are already in the back room. Last word to you, Alex.
Yes, I just wanted to say that the Water Guardians, that is not just a reason to receive a very pretty picture, but also for our future. It's absolutely crucial that we are protecting these waters. And we have so many violations against water and manipulations. So please sign up and get sure that you will receive the kit, which is also supporting our research here. But it is really important that this network can literally protect all the waters as well, because we're all going to work together with the water once again.
Guardians of the Water, friends, there you have it. Go to that QR code, please. Sign up. We need good humans because we want you all to participate in this group dreaming, this group plasma, group dreaming exercise. We can end conflicts. We can change the shape of manifest outcomes by group dreaming. We're going to be doing it through the Academy. Alex, thank you, brother. Much love to you, and I'll see you back
Sasha.
tomorrow.
I see you tomorrow.
Stand by because we still need you on Solomon. Stand by.
Sure. Okay,
friends, I'm going to hand you over to my sister, Tuan. I'm so sorry it took so long. It's the way of these broadcasts. In any event, you're going to just wrap up the seed project and prospect for those people who want to come and plug and play in this incredible tip of the spear vanguard conscious community that we're developing. And we will be bringing in our own breakthrough technologies. Again, got to be a little cautious how we speak about free energy technology, but we do have it and we will be implementing it one way or to other. And we have big, powerful partners with us. And I will be meeting government in Mexico in the new year, as I'm doing in Africa next week when I fly out there. Tuan, over to you.
Okay, so Christy, can I have my slides up on the screen? I've selected that, great. Assuming that everybody can see, I'm just going to crack on. So here we are with the beginning, which is water, and the planting of a seed. Can I do a full screen? Yeah, great. The principles are pretty much everything that's been covered, which is art and beauty and consciousness. Why do we worry so much about art? Because that heightens the quality of life for everybody, and on a practical level raises their vibration and makes adds to the value. So you get, literal dollars responses to art and beauty as well as raised consciousness. Our architectural designs and New Earth homes are based on natural materials, of course, and as few sort of straight lines as possible. This is a small project, which is going to be about 3 hectares of land with growing areas. Homes are going to have the ability to grow food very easily, and we'll be using indigenous technology as well as the new technology that Sasha has mentioned and we'll probably go into a little bit later. And this whole point of the 0 point economy, well, we have a tiny little project and we're going to have a go to, in a microcosmic fashion, generate secondary income streams for people on lower budgets in this tiny project. So I'll go into that now. Here we have the 4 pieces of land that we bought, which together just make up under 3 hectares. It's exquisite. Could we lose the QR code for a minute, Christy, if we can? The laguna is down here. So we have a bit of steep sloping land going down to the water, and we had these 3 parcels. We are now joining up, going through the planning permission, painful process, but Sergio leading the way with Jose Manuel in the background. The land itself is classic Yucatan with big trees, and we have a lovely dip in the middle here, which we're going to turn into a little sanctuary. Hoping that you can see all of this. So this red dotted line is the dipped area, which is where we're going to have the medicinal forest and natural water pools. We're going to have all these plots around here. I notice I've only put Fred and Deanie in, but there are a few others, quite a few others, obviously all lined up for this. We have the Laguna front land, which is going to be developed a little bit later. It takes a longer period because it's right on the Laguna and therefore subject to much more stringent planning permissions. And we'll create a kind of income stream on this land, a restaurant, retreat center with cabanas that will help this whole project to wash its own face. And on this project, we'll have multi-use communal spaces for people to work with. A lot of the people there are mind-body practitioners, and we'll invite events from outside. We'll also have a big area here, which is for growing food. And we have also conducted a huge a tree survey with all of the trees on the land. And we've only compromised 3, these little dots that you can see. I don't know how much of this you can see, but anyway. Can we go full screen without me? Great. So this is the architecture, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. We are working with Pedro and Jorge and the rest of the team, making this real. We have not done blueprints yet because these will all be modified for the individuals who buy these homes. And we're simplifying the homes to this extent, but also you could have a series of these circles together to make as big a house as you would like. And here we have a rendition of the grow wall, which is a privacy wall, because we're trying to encourage people not to chop their land up, and have privacy walls, which would also be grow walls, vertical, something not greenhousing, but vertical grow walls. And the materials in every case will be natural wood, stone, mud, because one of the things that we have discovered on the land is extraordinary, beautifully colored earth that we will be using to do the superficial plastering and artistic interventions on. We'll be creating our own bricks out of a product called cementan, which is a relatively natural material, and adding about 5% of cement to that mix. And I'll show you later what that's going to come to. But there'll be these amenities in the land, in that grow area, that dipped area. We're going to have a medicinal garden, sanctuary, and natural water pools. And some of the people that Sergio has connected us to on the land in Bacalar, a fabulous guy called Gabriel, who's doing extraordinary things with the Mayan bees there, with rare orchids in the middle of nowhere. We're going to ask him to come and set up a sanctuary in our land. And there the bees will be protected, so people won't necessarily move through their space, but they will have the benefit of that area. And we will create all these natural pools, all of which will enhance the biodiversity of the area as well. Growing food, critical, and here elements throughout the project, which will just be natural amenities for people to enjoy as they move through. One of the ways in which this is a very important part of the whole thing, one of the ways in which we are able to have bought a pretty expensive piece of land right on the back on the Laguna front, and make it available to those who don't have huge budgets, is because we're going to do an awful lot of workshops where we're planting seeds of knowledge, where we're sharing our knowledge with our neighbors, but also they're sharing theirs with us. The idea is in terms of growing food, they will have an awful lot of local knowledge that we could benefit from, but we can also bring certain technology that will benefit them in the growing. The creation, I'll come back to this slide, the creation of the materials is going to be, as I said, based on mud, which is an old Mexican thing anyway, adobe bricks. We can create the formers to create exquisite shapes and create elaborate artistic facades. And we will have these machines, they're kind of like compressing machines, I guess, and we can make the formers to create bricks of all sorts of complexity. And they'll not only be structural, but they'll also be highly decorative. But over here, for example, imagine here you've got gaps through. If you run water on the inside face of that brick wall, and you face that wall to the prevailing winds direction, you're going to get a drop of up to 10 degrees in the inside face, which is often used in India. And as we produce these bricks, some of them standard straight shapes, other than with little flicks on them, other than with shapes, we will be producing a percentage of that production will go free to our neighbors. We will ask if they might come and give their labor to us as we build earth homes for some of the residents who want to have a secondary income stream. And those neighbors who do join, they get the material anyway, but if they join us, we'll show them how to make the bricks and also how to build earth homes. Jaime, who you met earlier, does a lot of that sort of stuff. So we will be doing projects with the local university to create little earth dwellings. The trick of that is that we don't need planning permission for that because these are workshops. Same for the the natural water pools. So we can just crack on, do workshops, teach and educate people, but leave behind something that is of great value, a huge amenity that is going to help our little 0 point economy in action in the seed project, which is very small. This is later on, but for the Alpha project, which we haven't really gone into yet, but that's the bigger land, which I hope we'll have another live session and go into that shortly, next few weeks. We'll be doing 3D printing, but using old technology again, indigenous technology, where you have these kind of forms where the temperatures inside, the way that the air moves is exquisite. I mean, there's really no need for air conditioning. And I dreamed that this might be our little school. And this is the sort of knowledge that we'd be sharing with our friends, neighbors, and volunteers and architectural students. And we'll be able to do things extremely cheaply, thereby enhancing life for the people who are living there. Superficially, we'll be working on the surfaces with the material that we have on the earth, which is, as I said, an exquisite ochre color, which almost seems to have light shining through it. And I'm convinced it's dust from the stromatolite. So I'm going to ask Dr. Alex. And we'll be doing bas relief. These will be workshops, again, teaching people skills. Yes, it's art. But the thing is, if you can build things like this, you can go and build a home. You can plaster a home if you can do things like this. So these are, yes, decorative, but they're ultimately highly practical. And these create jobs for people. And in the process, make it beautiful. And if the homes that we have shown turn out to be too expensive for the sum, the idea is, what do you want to build? I think what we're trying to say is that whatever you want to have built, depending on your budget, will make something exquisite, whether it be bamboo and palapa, or whether it be chikum and mud and stone and adobe bricks. So that, I think I whizzed through because I'm well aware that we're under a lot of pressure of time, but that in a nutshell is the seed project. We have everyone's lined up of our current investors, but we do have potential gaps because people haven't fully committed yet. So I'm encouraging people, if they're interested in our project, to if you can crack on with that awful QR code, which is cringeworthy but necessary. This QR code will give you access to a calendar for a series of Q&A events so that you can go into a deep dive and we can tell you more about the seed project in detailed terms. And then later we will take you on into alpha, because the seed is the jump to alpha. And alpha is, Sasha, you didn't stop on the video, but that big piece of land, that's where we're headed. Can't hear you.
I can share my screen here. Share screen window. One moment. Yeah, this is just a slide of the alpha on the left and omega. So this is huge, guys. This is a very big. This is the seed is springboarding to alpha, where you can see the lake, and then omega on the right. So we're not going to go into this now. It's just too complicated because it's a huge project. And that's for many, many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes and expo centers, and all sorts of different elements are being hardwired into that development. But for the moment, for the seed project, I think that was pretty much it, Tuan. I'm very happy with that. Let me stop sharing my screen and bid you adieu. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Good, good. All right, friends, I'm going to claim the studio back here. Christy, you need to help me. Yeah, you just need to help me, girl. Thanks. All right. I'm going to lose that presentation now out of the studio. Don't need that. And I'm going to, hang about. Yeah, just get out anything of the green room that's superfluous. Christy would help me. All right, friends, I'm going to play you out with a short film made by Russell. To my left, you can see, there we go, peace sign there. That's very good. Okay. Do you remember the Addams Family with Thing, the hand, right? Okay. Stand by. This is such a pain. My eyesight is flailing, friends. I know. I'm the first person signed up for the Regenesis Clinic exercise. Okay, now you don't need to say anything in the comments section. I know. I'm just going to play out with this very short piece. See, if I look at the screen up there, it helps me. Then I go video file, and then that's the one, right? Is that it? Yep. That's it? Okay, stand by, friends. Playing you out with this. When I first came here, touched the water, got into the water, that was it. Or anyone who comes here, their relationship with the water becomes the seminal piece.
I started out introducing myself to the waters, and she did her work on me, as I've now witnessed her work on everyone who comes along. There's something deeply profound about the expansion that I'm experiencing and that I'm witnessing other people experience in terms of the relationship with nature.
Coming here to Bacalar, something shifted in me. I wanted to understand what that was. We've acquired land. We have micro-investors around the world, part of the New Earth tribe. Absolute pristine wilderness land here on the front of the laguna. The hard forensics we're conducting on the water with Professor Alex Ling and his world-leading team at the forefront of human consciousness and water and the relationship therein. I'm passionate about hard frontier quantum science. The entire basin of this 45+ kilometer laguna being made up of microbial flora and fauna compacted over millions of years. The genesis DNA of all living systems on the face of the earth originate in the stromatolite. Almost certainly the critical contributory factor to what's happening in the laguna. Of course, with Dr. Ling's, he's setting up faculty here on our land. We send them a kit through the post. They then take the samples, send the samples back. Dr. Ling's laboratory does the analytics and the forensics, the microscopy. We then explain to people how they can communicate to water and invoke a response from the water.
Collect the waters, that you would share the waters, that a database of waters can be known. That when we see that these waters are powerful and healing, we can take some of that water to the waters that are sick and troubled and offer that healing by way of this sharing.
Demonstrating how humans' consciousness impacts water. I began the New Earth Project in 2013, and fast forward talking about how do we claim jurisdiction around the world, set up the International Tribunal for Natural Justice, set up the New Earth University, which has, I think, almost 26,000 subscriber students now. We built the New Earth Haven in Bali, famed for its beauty, and that was the test bed for the metric of elevating art, beauty, and consciousness with what's happening in the United States right now on the frontiers of geopolitical revolution. These are all way signs, humans coming together into a fellowship, a new covenant, born out of our relationship with one another. That's the peace that the elders, the wisdom keepers, have always seen coming. Out of that chaos, that calamity, would emerge the Rainbow Warrior tribe. Now that's the peace here.
Privilege, honored to meet Sasha back in 2020. We're heading to the seed this morning, our first purchase here in Mexico, in Bacalar. And the reason it's called the seed because this is the first plant of the New Earth Sanctuary globally. I truly believe we will be the first to get the foundations in.
Is the first place we put spades in the ground to convene that fellowship, that community. And that's what's special about this place, and that's how we've evolved in 11 years. Growing into the New Earth Institute, then the New Earth University, that evolving into the New Earth Haven in Bali, the New Earth Haven now delivering the next iteration as the New Earth Sanctuary. Tremendous community on the ground, big administration team, taking people on tours, come and see the land, and explore the dimensions of what we're building here. Whether it's a micro investment, want to come in and buy into the actual investment opportunity. Laguna Bacalar is now recognized as the jewel in the crown of the Mayan Riviera. We're discovering new pyramids in the jungles here. The Mayan Train is an incredible multi-billion-dollar objective by the middle of next year that opens up. It's a tremendous boon to this country. So we are thrilled that we purchased premium Laguna Front land when we did. We have now 4 other landowners with about 2 kilometers of Laguna Front desperately wanting to proceed with us. Properties are going to skyrocket as well. This seed project that we're on right now, that springboards to the Alpha project that moves on to the Omega project. We proved out in Bali at the New Earth Haven, we are at the tip of the spear of bioarchitecture, which is incorporating bioresonance, understanding spatial dynamics, spatial harmonics, and bioresonance, and incorporating those elements. We minimize the use of concrete, we minimize the use of steel. About a pretty substantial team, ground crew, staff in our headquarters, sales and the tours, boatmen who are working with us, and the Mexican families who are working, the micro investors who are the backbone of this project, that first pioneering community of souls. So the New Earther is somebody who recognizes that and says consciousness in action is what defines my survival. You truly wish to repurpose your lives and those of your families and retool yourself. This is a canvas upon which you're invited to step into a higher version of your own life. That's what this blank canvas represents. Come in to the New Earth.